I didn't see it coming. Last summer, something felt off and I brushed it aside until one night I noticed her phone buzzing at 2 in the morning. While she slept, I unlocked it and found messages on Tinder with dozens of men and some other conversations on a site built specifically for cheating. Heart pounding, I spent an hour scrolling through every chat. I found she'd met with at least 7 of the men off both sites. The number could be much higher because I wasn't concentrating properly due to having trouble breathing while reading. I woke her up roughly and started going off at her. At first, she was confused, but when I said the names of the men she slept with, she broke down and confessed. Tears and apologies. Her therapist now says this is an addiction rooted in her childhood trauma and she needs treatment. We share a small 3-bedroom mortgage under my name. Our savings are split between joint accounts she has access to. If I file for divorce, I risk losing half the house, and legal fees will drain any cushion we built. I'm not ready to lose everything and start from zero. She still lives here, but I've asked her to take the spare room. I can't look at her without feeling sick. I need guidance on how to move forward. Is it worth sticking out therapy to salvage some trust, or do I cut my losses and protect myself legally first? How do I keep control of our finances in a potential divorce? Should I change all passwords and lock down our joint accounts, or is that going too far? I know this is raw, but any insight helps. Edit. Everyone unanimously told me to leave. I want to leave. Believe me, I know there's no salvaging this wreck, but the thought of losing half of everything I built on my own with no help from anyone, it makes me paralyzed. I grew up in the system, being tossed from foster home to foster home. I got into college on a full ride, worked 3 jobs in college, went on 3 hours of sleep every day to graduate. I landed my first job fresh out of college and worked myself to the bone to end up where I'm at today. And all will be gone. Everything. I don't know what I'm even doing here. I want to end things so badly. Update. Couple of weeks on and nothing feels normal. She's been going to her therapist twice a week. I'm sticking to my routine of work and the gym, trying to regain some control. She moved into the spare room and owns cooking and cleaning completely. It's like she's trying to punish herself. At dinner last night, she apologized again and said the therapist thinks this is an addiction pattern she can't break alone. She asked if I could hold off on filing anything until we try individual and marriage counseling. I told her I'm not attending counseling. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not suffering from sex addiction. I'm not going to blow up money on counseling when I'm trying to save every buck. She was not happy and was moping the rest of the day. Weekends are the worst because we used to have rituals. Saturday morning, we'd go out somewhere for early brunch, and now Saturday feels empty and I'm pacing the apartment. I've set firm rules. No secret apps, no going out anywhere except work without telling me. I do not want to be disrespected anymore under my own roof. If she wants to fuck around, she needs to move out. She's also stopped contributing to bills. I've covered rent and utilities for 2 weeks straight. I'm inching toward my overdraft. If this continues, I'll have to force her out of the house, which is going to be more drama and illegal. Her parents send her an allowance every month, and I've held off telling them so far because I was hoping we could work it out privately. Does anyone have experience standing firm on financial boundaries while a spouse is getting treatment? I'm worried I'm about to shell out all our savings on legal fees anyway, and can't tell if this is hope or just denial. Final update. So I thought about it long and hard and told her father about what she did. She completely flipped after finding out I ratted her out, texting me nonstop saying I betrayed the trust she placed in me. She said I weaponized the truth and humiliated her in the process. She was staying at her parents' place temporarily and begged me not to tell them the details of the affair. I let that sit for a while. Mostly because I didn't have the energy to deal with the drama at that moment. But the longer I stayed quiet, the more it felt like I was helping her hide from what she'd done. She had to face the consequences. So I called her dad. He thanked me for being honest and didn't press for more, just absorbed it. A couple days after that was when I started getting the angry texts. Apparently, they told her to move out or they'd evict her. That was the trigger. She said I'd turned her own family against her. Made her homeless, sabotaged her recovery. I didn't respond. It's not like I care about any of her problems. I've got my plate full with divorce. I was told by my lawyer that I'd have to buy her out of the house, so it's a huge financial hurdle that I'll need to get over. I've canceled all credit cards in my name because she was the one using them. My only goal moving forward is to minimize the financial hit I'm gonna take. Appreciate the people here who've offered insight. Story 2. 31 male. Cheated on twice now. How do you recover from that? Both my serious relationships have ended with me being cheated on. I got married young, 20. We were together for 4.5 years. She cheated on me for 2.5 years. Even got pregnant with the guy she was seeing on the side and convinced me it was mine. She lost the baby. So, as bad as this sounds, luckily I didn't have a kid I thought was mine brought into the situation. She never admitted to it until I refused to leave. Because you're supposed to work on marriages, not just give up. She also admitted that she was pregnant again and needed me to leave so she could move the father in. It took me a long time and a battle with alcoholism that developed from the fallout before I even thought about other people. I met my now ex over the internet, and we were together for 4.5 years as well. It's my lucky number, it would seem. She knew about what my ex-wife did to me and how I nearly drank myself to death trying to deal with it. The last ex had the decency, for lack of a better word, to end it sooner into her infidelity. But it sucks the same nonetheless. I feel like I can't trust anybody. I never got over the trust issues from the first time and went against my own instincts to ignore what was happening the second time. How do you get past this kind of thing a second time? And how do you ever fully trust in somebody again knowing that people fucking suck? I don't know that I'll ever be able to see somebody on their phone and just believe that what they're doing is what they say ever again. And I'd feel fucking stupid if I convinced myself of it again. I have a therapist. He's at a loss for words. Any kind of advice would be appreciated. Edit. I should add my therapist has been great to me. He saw me at my worst. I was broken when I found out about the most recent one. He was more worried about my safety than anything else, and I don't blame him for not knowing what to say at that time. He came to my house when he got my message. He's been in contact with me every day since. We have a date set to talk about it in depth, so I can mentally prepare for it. He's not the issue. He genuinely cares for me and has said part of the issue is nothing he can say is going to make this feel better or help in my mind right now. I appreciate the suggestions of different therapists, but that is my fault in not being as specific as I needed to. What you've been through would break a lot of people. Hell, it nearly did the first time, and you still got back up, tried again, and gave someone else your trust. That says more about your character than anything they did to you. Thing is, you're not broken. You're just hurt. And yeah, that pain cuts deep when it comes from someone you loved and trusted. Twice. First one manipulated you, lied to your face for years, used pregnancy as a tool. That's not just cheating, that's cruelty. And the second one knew your past and still did it anyway. That's a special kind of betrayal. Right now, don't even stress about trusting someone else. Seriously, you don't need to jump to that step. Focus on trusting yourself again. That voice in your head that told you something was off, that instinct you brushed aside, it was right. You weren't stupid. You were hoping. Hoping the past wasn't repeating itself. Hoping she was better than the last. That's human. That's love. But now you know better. You got a therapist who clearly cares. That alone is huge. Use that support. Let it help you rebuild. Slowly, day by day. And when you're ready, you'll carry this pain differently. Not like a wound, but like armor. You've survived the worst parts. Now it's about choosing who you want to be next. And from the way you're carrying yourself, I think you're going to be all right. Just don't rush it. One breath at a time.